Welcome to Bonnie Field in the River City for Pro Rugby's Week 1 clash between Sacramento and Northern California neighbours San Francisco in what promises to be a historic day for American rugby. August 26, 1995, World Rugby, then known as the IRB, declared the books open as rugby union jumped into the world of professional sports. 21 years later, finally, the USA has thrown its hat into the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, the wait is finally over. Pro Rugby has arrived. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dan Power, joined today by my host, Lou Stanfield, former USA Eagles, Sacramento native, for a very historic day as we welcome Pro Rugby to America. Lou, what a day.
What a day, Dan. This is an epic occasion, as rugby has never before been professionalized in the United States. It's been the fastest growing sport amongst youth for the past 5 years, and finally, the men's level gets to capitalize on the efforts of many that came before them in order to grow the game at the senior level.
It certainly is a historic day indeed. 46 young men will be on the field shortly, trying to grab their slice of history. And when we come back, we'll have the national anthem and all the lineups. Don't go away. I got you. Just welcome back to a sun-soaked Bonnie Field here in Sacramento. As you see the players streaming onto the field, we're going to go down to the field now for the introductions and the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we
A beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner getting us started here. And we're going to go into the lineouts now, Lou, starting off with the home team, Sacramento.
Starting off with the home team, Dan. We have a lineup that includes many experienced rugby players and also a sprinkle of a few guys who are a little less seasoned. Leading from the front, you'll have John Quill, starting captain. He has started and played in many USA fixtures, and he is a constant within that team. You also have Ali Khalifi and up-and-coming young star Val Lilo, both playing out of Seattle. And then in the backs, Mirko Bergamesco. He is going to be a key in this game as he has the most experience of anyone on the field, and he will be a massive, massive contributor to this game.
Yeah, 89 caps for Italy. Bergamasco at outside centre today. And now take a look at this San Francisco, a powerhouse of rugby in the United States. How are they looking today?
An absolute powerhouse, and experience is not something that they are light on. They have quite a few players that have competed at the international level, including Tom Kulikin and Alec Gletzer, both of which involve the USA team at the moment, as well as bringing out from Canada Nick Blevins, a hard runner, very smart player. He will be very important for San Francisco in today's game. But coming off the bench, let's not forget about Areni Ai. The guy's been around the world playing rugby, I think, on every single continent on this globe. And him coming off the bench is quite a spark of energy that this San Francisco team is going to need in this hot day.
Yeah, certainly sweltering conditions today. That injection from Ai off the bench there, the Sevens superstar, that lightning footwork of his could come in handy in the second half. We are just moments away from kickoff. On the left of your screen, San Francisco, ball in the hands of Volney Rouse. The Golden Gate fly half now playing his trade with San Francisco. On the right of your screen in the white and green strip will be Sacramento. Our man in the middle, Nick Ricono, has the honor of having the whistle here for this game today. As we are about to get things started, professional rugby has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Strap yourselves in. 80 minutes of action coming your way. Nice start from Rouse. Plenty of contest coming in. Sacramento do a good job handling the ball, pull it down inside their own 40.
Very well taken there by Sacramento, Dan.
Here's Modicano, brings it back to Bennett. He'll go back to Brewer, the trusted right foot of Brewer. He drives it into San Francisco's half. He'll find touch about 30 out from the try line. Nice safe start there from the Sacramento boys.
You know, Dan, right off the get-go, you see Sacramento has a plan. They took that restart, they took it clean, they wanted to get out of their end. You see them do that operating at a very nice clip. That was nice to see and a good start for professional rugby here in America.
Go Ryan! So take a look at our first set piece here. San Francisco, that one not looking straight. Nick Ricono agrees, and we're going to come back for an option here. You'd think with the pack of Sacramento, they're going to take a scrum, especially 30 out from the line. What a chance to attack early on in the game.
Absolutely. You're in the middle of the field, especially in your opponent's middle, Dan. This is an excellent opportunity for you to keep the pressure on and really pin them down. You either come away with points in some way, shape, or form, be that as a penalty kick or scoring a try anywhere in the try zone.
Just watch the little Fijian Modicano from the back here, wearing the 9 jersey. Dangerous player out of the Seattle Saracens club. He's got the Australian schoolboy, Harry Bennett, on his outside.
Strong scrum from Sacramento.
And Modicano goes for the dart, finds Bennett, shifts it across field. They straighten the attack up in midfield. That's a nice run there from Tatificata.
He's got to get the ground, Dan.
Still pushing forward, could be a turnover.
There's a turnover from Gletzer.
Yeah, not releasing, says Nick Ricono there, and this gives Sacramento a chance to put first points on the board. You'd think with two players like Bergamasco and Bennett on the side, you're probably going to take a shot at 3.
I would think so. This direction, right in front of the post. Not only that, early in the game, you got to keep the scoreboard ticking. I like to see our inside center, Alapate, make sure he gets his shoulders low. That he'll be able to produce quick ball. Go into contact at this level, Dan, high like that, you're going to get the ball taken from you each and every time, or get a turnover, and that results in a scrum to the opposition.
Here we go for all you trivia buffs out there. A chance to get in the trivia books for Bergamasco. Here is the first man to draw points for televised pro rugby. The game earlier in Denver ended in overtime. Golden point, 16-13. Denver defeating Ohio in very different conditions to what we have here today. But the first televised points, Bergamasco, the Italian center, lines his 3 points up from just outside the 22. Looks like he may have left this one out to the right, straight through the middle of the post. No problems at all. 3 points to 0. Sacramento take an early lead.
Absolutely. That's the nudge they needed. This game is off to a great start, Dan. We're seeing a little bit of rugby, but we're excited to see them open it up and really get their legs moving as this ball stays in play.
Yep, I will mention that. Yeah, we talked about the conditions here. Just as a safety procedure, the stadium's actually had to empty one side here because it is so hot. The metal bleachers heating up well over to 100 degrees over there. For safety precautions, they've had to leave that side of the stadium empty, which is, usually they play soccer here, but they are night games. So not something that you'd be used to, but it is California and we are approaching summer.
Yes, we are, Dan. You can fry an egg on those seats across the way. And I'm glad I'm not over there in rugby shorts sitting down with my bum against it.
Here we go. Rouse gets us restarted. Nice deep kick. Well handled by Latu though as he takes it back towards his own 22. Motakana goes in there, digs around. He's got Bennett in the pocket. He'll drop it onto the right boot. Deep kick. Now San Francisco with a chance to attack off a quick line out. They choose it. Comes in quickly. For now, no, they're going to come back. Referee not happy with that. We're coming all the way back. Ball was actually passed back into the 22, referee Rakono saying. So we're going to come all the way back down to just outside Sacramento's 22, line out San Francisco.
Field awareness, Dan. If you bring the ball from outside the 22 back inside and then kick directly out, unfortunately, it's the origin of the ball that dictates whether or not you can kick it directly out or it has to land in field. In this case scenario, as you can see, that ball did not land out, and therefore the ball comes back directly where they kicked.
Another little mistake coming at the set piece here. Second line out gone astray here for San Francisco. Little knock on. And that is a huge pressure reliever for Sacramento as they'll get another chance to relieve the pressure here and kick this ball into touch. The rule came in about 2009. It was to promote attacking rugby, not being able to pass back in the 22 to kick out. So far pretty successful, but still some of those little rules that they're going to have to pick up on here. And cardinal errors, especially early in the game, to give away possession like that.
Absolutely. You have to have utmost awareness when you have that ball in your hands, especially deep in your end, Dan, because mistakes like that can be very costly. As you can see now, instead of being found in the middle of the field, now Sacramento is up against their goal line. Granted, they do have the ball in hand, but they didn't give themselves any advantage.
Latu off the back here, goes for a run. Oh, fends away, Rouse. Swats him away like a pesky little blowfire on a summer's day. Now Motakana goes in. Khalifi, he drives forward up towards the 40. Recycling possession well here, Sacramento. They continue to the right down the blind side. Changes direction back to Bennett. Onto the right foot. Right down the middle field. A chance to attack here for the young cow fullback, Jake Anderson. He opts to run the ball back towards the center. Oh, it could be a high shot there from Latu above the shoulders. Referee agrees. May have a little chat to him here. Didn't even make an attempt to go low on that one.
You know, they've really tightened up that rule in the past few years, Dan, and I think it's for the better because that is a very dangerous play. To get anyone swinging in around your neck, it can put you in quite a bit of harm's way. Granted, was that malicious? I don't think so. There was no swinging arms. He wasn't looking to rip his head off. But be it as it is, you have to have a standard. And the standard now held is that you can't go anywhere around the neck. Safety is of the utmost priority in rugby, and in order to keep it safe, you got to keep it strict.
Well, Lou Stanford, one of the most capped Eagles ever. He played on the razor's edge, so he's going to give them the benefit of the doubt with that one. And now, can Coolican get his throws dialed in here? The second one, probably not his fault. A little bit of mishap at the line-out, but first hit out of the season here, trying to figure things out. We might have a little blood substitution for one of the Sacramento players. He's going to get cleaned up. That'll bring Kefu on a little earlier than probably what he thought would have planned on coming on. Kefu, the big man.
It's okay. You know, trial by fire in these instances, Dan. Get him in there, get him playing, and get his first hit, and that way he won't get surprised.
Beautiful stuff. San Francisco dialing in. They peel across the back now. Nice little run from Grass. He's met from Coolican to drive him as well. Reed across the Rouse, looking for runners. Long missed ball. Out to Blevins. He's met though. Anderson dragged down. Good pressure and good defense from the winger in Harbour out there.
That was a fantastic read by Garrett Brewer. Coming up into the line. Big run.
Tamalau. He charges into the 22. Reed looking for the ball. They pick and go. Still in the 22 of Sacramento. Building pressure. Down the blind side. Anderson, quick hands. Doesn't go to hand. Looks like a little knock on. Rakono's going to let it go though as San Francisco maintain possession.
That was some interesting play there, Dan. Not something you see too often, grabbing by the hips and lifting them up. I was expecting to see the referee's hands out as that could be construed as dangerous, but he's letting him play on.
Still charging forward, Latu there. About 10 out from the line, pressure coming from San Francisco. Looking to get the first points on the board through the try as Coolican charges forward. continuing to mount this pressure. Pick and go, they're over! San Francisco get the first try, 5 points to 3. Kick to come, beautiful stuff from those big San Francisco forwards, Lou.
And that looked like it was Alec Gletzer that may have scored that try. The workhorse coming from San Francisco. This guy will get all over the field today, Dan. Young guy playing his college ball out of California. And look at that, right over the top, just charging away. He wanted that, and he was not going to be denied. Really hard work by San Francisco. Sacramento's going to need to tighten up their defense in and around the ruck for that.
They've got a lot of firepower out wide, the San Francisco side. I like the way they kept that in tight, though. They've got the big workhorses up the middle. Kulikin in particular, you're a big fan of Kulikin's. He was in the USA setup for a while, got a nasty injury, stepped away for a little while. He's on his way back in, though.
Absolutely. Tom Kulikin's a hard-nosed player. You know, there's a lot of players out there. They say you can either be a quick thinker and a slow mover, or you can be a slow mover but a quick thinker. I think Kulikin does an excellent job of kind of marrying those two concepts. He's not the fastest guy on the field. He may not be the biggest, but he is the best thinker out there, and he's going to give you every ounce of energy he's got. He is hard-nosed as can be.
Volney Rouse makes no mistakes with that conversion. 7 points to 3. Around 9 minutes gone here in the first half. San Francisco in the lead. They hit back after giving up that early penalty. As we come back to halfway, Harry Bennett getting us restarted. Played a bit of rugby with Santa Monica. Now finds himself in Sacramento. Nice restart deep into the 22. Be well fielded though by San Francisco. And a good run back too. Picks up 10, 15 yards, still going up to the 40.
That's excellent play by San Francisco. Sacramento's going to want to get on their horse on those restarts. They're blitzing on defense, which is an excellent look, Dan. But in order to get those restarts, you got to put pressure onto the ball.
So they do now as Rouse goes across field looking for runners. Still though, Sacramento doing a great job in defense, getting up very quick, putting a lot of pressure on the San Francisco ball players as Blevins goes for run. Here's that man Kulikin again. Beautiful pass around the corner from Kulikin. Latu now goes across. There's Geltzer, the try scorer. He's tackled. They lose a little bit of ground. Back inside the 40. Another offload taken though. Intercept from Sacramento. They turn the ball over. And they get a nice little applause from the home crowd here as they go wide, draw and pass will do it. Bergalasco on the outside. Can he find some support? Dragged down on the 22. Beautiful grassing tackle there from San Francisco. Maticano goes in looking for runners. He'll find Bennett. Bennett looks across to the outside. The forwards leak. Oh, a mistake in midfield. Crucial error coming in there from Sacramento. It's now San Francisco, and now a silly penalty as well. John Quill reaches over. And that's just ill discipline from Quill, not only giving up possession, but now territory through the penalty as well, Lou.
Absolutely. Dan, that was, we call that boxcar mistakes. Unfortunately, you make one wrong mistake, and oftentimes that energy kind of carries over to the next segment of play. And as you can see there, one mistake led to a turnover, led to another, and now Sacramento, once in the attacking end, now they're in midfield. They're, you know, they got their backs against the wall. They're going to need to come up with some good defense in order to really regain possession in order to get that flow.
Now you live here in Sacramento. You've been out to a few of the sessions. They're getting absolutely punished. Word has it that the 2-a-days, 5 days a week, these guys are really taking this very seriously.
John Quill getting up in the lineout in order to get that. Not the tallest man, but he climbed that ladder for it.
Here we go. Maticana now goes across field. The big man Latu goes for a charge into Rouse again. That's the second time already. Those two have collided in midfield. Bennett going for the run. He's collared and dragged down right on the halfway line. Sacramento on the attack. They come back towards the middle of the field. Stagnant run met from some solid defense. Drives him back into his own half. Maticana now throws the dummy, the little Fijian. There's no value there as he's met by a crunching tackle from Blevins. The hard man from the north, the Canadian international, making his impact on, and the penalty comes as well. Well, you've got to put that down to the good tackle from Blevins, forcing them back, turning the momentum around, and then the penalty as well.
Not releasing.
You know, I could see Joppe thinking about that move in his head a mile away, and Blevins came around that corner, and he knew he was thinking the exact same thing, and that was the moment in which the ball was truly turned over. You cannot find yourself in good position in order to retain possession. They take that tackle behind the gain line, they put extra pressure on it, and there you go, a change in possession by penalty, and now they're going to go for points.
Rouse here trying to find his range, about 42 out from the post.
Volney Rouse, Northern California native, played his college ball at St. Mary's. He's a very experienced American rugby player. He's been in and out of this system, but there's certainly no fault in Volney for Rouse and stick-to-itiveness when it came to his rugby, because he has been involved and he's staying involved for many years. very happy to see him get his opportunity here in pro rugby, and I think he's going to be a fantastic fixture for San Francisco moving forward.
Yeah, he's played for Golden Gate for a number of years now. Like you said, come out of St. Mary's. A lot of players representing both sides from St. Mary's and Cal, two rugby nurseries for colleges in the US for a long time. And Rouse recently changed his allegiances, played for the Philippine Sevens not too long ago. So one of those joker rules there with the Olympics where you could change what country you wanted to represent if you had been absent for 3 years from USA setups, which he must have been, as he comes in for this penalty. Beautiful strike from Rouse. No mistake, 3 points go on the board. 10 points to 3, San Francisco extend their lead. 13.5 minutes gone here in the first half.
We're off to an excellent start to this professional rugby, Dan. See a lot of good quality play. Now I think what we're going to see is teams are starting to get the feel of the game. They're going to start calming down, and we're going to see a lot more ball involved in open play.
That's it, first hit out for both these teams.
Now this restart, Dan, what you want is you need someone going down as hard as they can to put a lick under this guy who is going to take the ball.
Bennett goes deep again, taken back on the 22 under no pressure. Just outside the 22. Can't go out in the full on this kick. They're going to have to reset the ball back in the 22, and they do so through Gelzer. Gletzer there, he's met just outside the 22. Rouse, they've got numbers if they can shift it. Nice little pass around the corner of Blevins. Drawing pass. Out the back to Anderson. Anderson's down the right sideline. Really needs some support. He may have got it in touch. No play on. Haley with the ball. Tackle finally inside Sacramento's 22. Blevins jumps into scrum half, moves it across. Coolican now with the ball. Charges into the defense. Into Sacramento's 22. What great counter rugby there from San Francisco, deep within their own end. Blevins now shifts the ball across. Finau, he's tackled. They lost a bit of yards on that one.
San Francisco keeping composure, and there you go. Unfortunately, we saw a not releasing penalty there. We thought for a second that that Sam Finau was going to scamper away for a quick try, but as you can see, the referee is indicating that the ball carrier did not release as he got tackled. Great scramble defense by Sacramento. As you can see, well, there was a quick lift, but as you go to ground, as soon as you hit the deck, you have to play the ball back to your team. If you hold on to it too long, the referee is going to pin you, and that's we can see there's a full penalty going back to the defense.
Definitely one of the beauties of the game, isn't it, Lou? That battle, the contest, the game's not over once the tackle's made. The fury continues at the breakdown. One of your favourite parts of the game in there, getting physical and throwing little guys like me around.
Absolutely, Dan.
Here we go. Motakana comes across now. Bennett shifting it out wide. Trouble comes here. Thompson on the outside. That's Brewer, sorry. He's got Thompson. Elects to let him go, Brewer. Goes himself, breaks a tackle. Flicks the ball back on the inside. Charging run there from Takavakata. And another turnover. They've certainly been the curse here for Sacramento in the first half. It's the turnover ball in crucial moments too. Always in attacking moments. Sacramento just unable to finish thus far.
As you can see, Dan, a quality run is only quality by the way you finish your run. As you can see, as you just said, they're trying to do too much. You see a couple really nice passes out of contact, trying to keep the ball alive, but that last one is always the one that's too much.
Yeah, Bergamasco definitely coming in to seal that breakdown there. Wasn't expecting the offload. It came to him, and unfortunately another turnover coming as San Francisco look to work this out from their own end.
And again, off the side of the ruck.
Tamalau, he goes forward. We're getting a little chippy out there between Barkwell and Tamalau. A little Canadian Barkwell, what a little stalwart he is, a competitor to the 10th degree.
If there is something going on in this field, you will see Barkwell in the middle of it.
Another tackle from him as he comes in. He's got a very high work rate, the Canadian hooker. Loves getting in there and mixing it up. San Francisco, they've got numbers again to attack. Rouse goes wide. Cut pass, probably not the option there. Gave the defense a chance to adjust as Larchu's tackle. They come down the blind side. Little kick through, bit of a nothing kick, and they make something come out of it though. It's Motakana. He turns around, little chip over the top from Joppe Motakana. Oh, Blevins, beautiful stuff from him as he scoots around there. Seals the ball and gets the penalty. Just a touch of class from the international player, wasn't it?
That was. He was in the right position, the right time, and he read the wrong decision by Joppe Motakana. In that situation, Dan, as soon as you get that ball for a turnover, you want to move it into space. Joppe thought he saw something in front of him. I think it was a short-sighted move, and ultimately it did not pay off for Sacramento. But great scramble defense. They were heavily outnumbered on this weak side as they tried to take the corner, and you saw the wing Thompson there, as well as Kyle Sumption, I believe, coming in from the inside, really putting more pressure, and ultimately forcing a turnover out of a kick, but not able to capitalize.
And for the most part, these are some of these club players who are going to step up and play professional rugby. It's going to be those little 1% of plays. The little windows that were open at a club level, they're not going to be open at this level of rugby. They don't close and close quickly. As we saw, Nick Blevins scoots around there and picks that ball up. Maybe at a different level, that ball bounces, goes back into Joppe's chest, and he runs and scores. And that's where these teams are going to start gelling over the weeks here, Lou, and they're going to turn into these units. It's going to become more and more enjoyable to watch them as the season goes on.
As you can see, this is a game of inches, obviously, but decisions make those inches. So you have to make the right one at the right time. As you can see, overthrows, massive mistakes.
Reed with the ball tackled on the 40 of Sacramento. San Francisco on the attack now. Nice little pick up from Grass. He goes for a little run. Not much value there around the ruck. Bledsoe moves it wide. There's Rouse looking for runners. Goes out the back. There's Talapusi. Still scheming Talapusi, looking for runners on the outside. He's dragged down the 40. A lot of lateral movement here from San Francisco. Charging run from Sakalia there as he goes forward, the 8-man. Nice little inside pass. Well fielded though. That's O'Hara, the winger, getting involved.
Very quick ball from San Francisco. They're not looking to play a slow game. They want to get up and they want to get that ball moving.
Big man Latu goes for a run. Reed at the back to Rouse. Floating cut ball out to the winger. Haley, he's isolated. Does well to beat the first tackle. Haley finally dragged down. And this could be a turnover coming for Sacramento. They're over the ball here. And they're going to get the penalty as well. That's going to make Coach Luke Gross a little happier. That sort of dedication at the breakdown.
Excellent recognition by the seasoned veteran there, John Quill, captain of the Sacramento side. They had an isolation. Gets to the ground. John Quill stays on his feet, strong, over the ball. You're going to need a crowbar and maybe a little bit of dynamite to get him out of there at that point, because he gets that position, he is not going to be moved.
Yeah, talking to John Quill before the game, he's definitely built to control the breakdown, isn't he? A very, very solid man. Big chest, big shoulders, big arms, just gets over the top of that ball and almost impossible to move.
A big man, John Quill. Not to say that we are shy of big men on this field. Looking at a couple of these guys, we have second rowers from both teams. One of them, we have Siona Sina, about 6'4", 275 pounds. And then coming from San Francisco side, Cici Latu.
Here we go, Sacramento, the rolling maul, pushing forward. Barkwell at the back, marshalling the troops to go forward, willing them to drive those legs. 5 meters out from the line, Barkwell still with the ball. Still going Sacramento. Beautiful stuff from the forwards. Advantage coming for pulling it down as Monicano goes in. Bennett, short ball. Oh, he lets them all go and he's dragged down meters out from the line. Sacramento send the troops in, but penalty coming. No advantage gain. And it's decision time. Do you take the 3 points or do you tighten the vice a little bit here, Lou Stanfield? Do you go for the scrum?
If I'm Sacramento, I tighten the vice. You either take the scrum and you force a penalty, or even better, you push over for the try, or you just showed your prowess and your power in the maul. Exploit that, kick it out, win the line out, and go ahead and do it again. If you punch in a try through the forwards, through this type of execution in the mauls, we can see Barkwell nice and patient in the back, everyone continuing to get back into that maul and just continuing to go forward. This is nothing more than hard work by a group of men that want to work on the same page.
Certainly is. We almost saw Bennett find Jack O'Hara at the back. Sorry, that's Ryan Thompson out the back there, and that's the option again. Thompson setting up in the pocket of Bennett. If the scrum does break down, definitely look for him to come out the back. Thompson, one of Salty's young boys. Very well-known name in rugby in America. Absolutely. Obviously brother of Brett as well.
Absolutely, definitely not a name that is found too far away from the word rugby. Ryan Thompson playing his rugby out of Arizona, found his way to Sacramento, and he found himself a good home. I've spoken to John Quill on a number of occasions. A lot of these guys are coming from out of town, coming from out of state, and they're really meshing well here in Sacramento. They're working hard 6 days a week. And this is certainly an endeavor that everyone here wants to do well. We all want to succeed, and these players are putting their guts into it.
It's the capital of California for a reason, isn't it? What a city.
What a city, Dan. And as discussed, Sacramento opts for the scrum. Let's see if they can impose a little of their physical will upon San Francisco here in the midway through the first half.
Here, he'll put the ball in, a little Fijian Dangerous down the back. Go straight down. They'll get the penalty. Let's see if he goes quick here. A little bit slow.
So Dan, first penalty in the scrum this close to the line. Sacramento will most likely they will opt to scrum down again. If these penalties ensue, you will see a penalty try will be awarded under the sticks. Let's see if Sacramento has what it takes in order to eke what they need out of San Francisco.
With the way San Francisco's been defending in this first 20 minutes, probably not a bad option to keep exerting your dominance in an area of the field where you have seen success so far, and that's exactly what Sacramento's going to do. Scrum comes in, pick up off the back, short ball, Monicano, can he get away from Rouse? No, Rouse not only brings him down, steals the ball as well. Turnover from San Francisco, and the head scratching continues for Sacramento and their fans as they again get turned away without any points from the red zone. Back into the pocket, Anderson. That kick's been deflected, it comes down to Thompson. He's got a chance to attack in broken field. Blevins comes in, can't bring him down. He's tackled about 15 metres out from the line here. Look for the pick and go. The forwards, there's Khalifi. Looking to reset, set something up here. Pick and go again coming from Sacramento. Moving this ball slowly towards the centre of the field, hoping to open something up for Bennett.
Sacramento staying patient. This ball is slow. They want to create something quick. San Francisco's doing an excellent job defending off of the ruck.
Down the blind side goes Monicano. Oh, the dummy, he's through! And he dots it down! Oh, the little magician from Fiji. He's landed in Sacramento, and he's got the first try for Sacramento. Beautiful stuff from him. And they hit back, 10 points, 8, kick to come here. We could have a tied ball game, Lou Stanfield.
Excellent vision by Joppe Monicano. He saw that come in 3 phases before. We keep working over the open side. You see Sacramento continue to go open. Joppe sees that. He sees the hole open up, forces the 2-on-1, dots down the corner. Excellent vision by the young scrum half. Sacramento on the sideline, very happy about that try.
Well, you get the feeling that Joppe is going to come. You just don't know when. He's just so dangerous around the breakdown. The pick and go, the pick and go. I thought they were looking to set something up around midfield, using those big centres. He knew he was going down the blind side. Thompson knew as well. He did a great job keeping his winger inches long enough for Joppe to get through there. And what a great try for Sacramento.
The difference at this level, Dan, is that level of communication. As those phases continue, the ability to relay in what you see and what may be on to your playmakers in that situation, probably coming from Thompson to Monicano, is what made that try happen. Their ability to communicate what they're seeing in front of them opens up holes and capitalizes opportunities.
And as close as you can come, Bergamasco there, misses that conversion, stays to the left, goes off the upright. Score remains 10 points, 8, 25 minutes gone in the first half here. What a start, just what you were hoping for. Everyone was anticipating pro rugby starting 1 year to the day that it was signed in. This competition was going to get started, and here we are. We saw 16-13, an absolute cliffhanger in Denver as they defeat Ohio. And we look like we're in for the same type of result here as Sacramento and San Francisco absolutely beating each other pillar to post early on as Rouse gets it restarted. Quill under the ball. Can't get his hands on it. Goes straight into the waiting arms there. Sakalia as he dragged it down into the 22. Midfield, Coolican gets through the tackle, Coolican. Another one, Coolican still going. 5 out from the line, finally dragged down. Reed to Rouse. They move to the left. They've got numbers in space. They've got a score. It goes out wide. Can Anderson get into the corner? Oh, great scrambling defense from Sacramento. I think Bergamasco has got underneath him here, Lou. He may have held him up and drove him over the sideline.
A little bit of decision making from the referees on the sideline, having the AR give his input. And no try awarded.
No try.
Here we go. We got hands to Anderson. Bergamasco and Rashad underneath it. As you can see, they forced him out of bounds just before he was able to get the ball down.
Yeah, I gave the credit to Bergamasco, but it was Rashad Harbour who got his body underneath the ball there to help Bergamasco drive him. Touch in goal. We come back out to the 22 for a restart.
Excellent scramble defense from Sacramento. Just because you're outnumbered does not mean you're going to lose. They kept scrambling, and now they have an opportunity to get out of their end.
And Lou, how big is that? Putting on points, themselves scoring a try, and then not giving them up, saving a try in the corner. What a huge confidence boost for the Sacramento boys.
Absolutely, Dan. These guys are working hard. They're working their guts out. And when you get an opportunity like that, that just helps you increase the amount of confidence you have. That even though your back's against the wall, you can still make the right decision. Big tackle from Molly Khalifi.
Big Khalifi, USA Eagle. Reed goes in, finds Anderson. I love how Anderson's slotting himself into first receiver a lot. Him and Rouse interchanging roles just makes the attack that much more dangerous for San Francisco as they continue charging, busting through tackles. Great run there from Talapusi as he goes down that left sideline, finally dragged down inside Sacramento's 22. Reed now, cross to the right, Coolican. Nice little short ball, well handled from Latu.
A few too many missed tackles from Sacramento in this area of the field, Dan. Those can be very costly.
Rouse through, deflected, play on. Bergamasco with the ball. And referee saying it was knocked on from Sacramento. Could be a little bit hard done by. I'd be interested to see on the replay if they actually knocked this on. I thought they did a good job of getting in between the players and knocking the ball back. Ricono right on the spot though makes the call, and San Francisco will have a scrum and a chance to continue to mount the pressure on Sacramento.
Now we'll see if Sacramento can continue with that physical prowess pushing forward. As we can see here, we didn't quite see the knock on, but we did see a bit of cheeky play in order for one of the Sacramento players to get in the way of a San Francisco player. That's what a lot of athletes on the field thought was going to be the call, but we're coming back to the knock on, and we see Cici Latu is getting a little bit of tension on the field. This weather, Dan, hydration is key. As soon as that water comes on, you got to do your best to make sure you get a shot because you are losing vital hydration minute by minute, working your butt off on this field.
There is the big man, Siosi Latu, 6'8", 300 pounds. What a giant of a man.
That is a mountain of a man to have to bring down, Dan.
We are at the crux of this first half, just 10 minutes to go. Often the deciding point in many games is these last 10 minutes before halftime and the last 10 minutes of the game. Sacramento, you almost feel like they've been on the back foot the entire first half, yet they only find themselves 2 points in arrears, Lou. What do they have to do to get in the game here?
Yeah, I think Sacramento just needs to keep their composure. They get that ball in the hand, they're starting to gain meters, and they get a break. At that point, you want to make sure you take the ball into contact to produce good ball, so do not force an offload that may not be there in order to continue playing. As long as you keep possession while you're in the opponent's position of the field, that's when you're going to be able to turn into points. Another turnover to Sacramento. They have open field in front of them.
Oh, it's a foot race. It's a foot race, Brewer. Oh, the pickup from Brewer. The one-hand scoop, the dive, try time Sacramento. Oh, thank you very much. Keep the change. What a try there. Length of the field stuff. Can you believe it?
I can believe it, Dan. That is exciting rugby. Fantastic turnover. Harry Bennett puts it to his foot, sees green grass in front of him. Garrett Brewer legs it. Excellent one-handed scoop up. And he is over the line for a quick 5. This is some amazing skill right here, Dan. To back yourself with a one-handed pickup, that's some confidence. Garrett Brewer did it in stride. Young man, also out of St. Mary's, California, native of Sacramento. He's one of the guys you're going to want to watch this season. Young, athletic, big and powerful, very good at intelligence in the game. His ability to be able to charge down a kick like that and turn into points is what Sacramento needs in order to continue taking over that scoreboard and get an edge on San Francisco.
Great play there. Harry Bennett first off, to notice no one's at home. And for people watching at home, just how difficult that is to do what Garrett Brewer just there at full speed. That ball didn't bounce up for him. That wasn't in the breadbasket. He had to bend down, scoop that up with one hand at full flight. Brilliant stuff as Bergamasco can't convert the try. Score will remain 13 points to 10. Sacramento now in the lead, and the crowd know it. They have come alive here at Bonnie Field.
They have, Dan. We have a beautifully packed stadium, and this is a lovely environment for a bit of Sunday rugby.
You see the replay there again of that Brewer pickup. Unbelievable stuff.
And how hard is it, Dan, as a kicker? You see that turnover to get your eyes up and make the decision instantly whether or not to kick it down the field or hold on to it.
Yeah, just a great reaction from Bennett to notice that there was space back there. Nice restart for San Francisco. Comes off the legs of Quill as he's dragged back. No, says the referee. Knock on coming. As San Francisco will get another chance off this scrum to attack.
Arguably one of the most difficult skill areas in rugby is the ability to take the high ball off the restart. Now, I might be a little bit biased to this because I was a second rower, and that was one of the skills I had to have. But to take a ball that's kicked that high with a lot of pressure coming from in front of you and to judge the trajectory and get right underneath and take it cleanly, very difficult indeed. Sacramento obviously still needs a little work, but once again, that's one of those skills that you never stop working on. The more you do it, the better you'll get.
Yeah, they say that the footsteps approaching can turn men into mice pretty quickly.
Good little shove going on by Sacramento.
Here we go, Reed, Rouse, lets runners go, out the back to Haley. He shifts it across, Anderson, nice pass. They go out wide now, continuing to attack is O'Hara. He's dragged down about 10 out from the line, back towards the middle of the field. Straightening run there from Finau.
San Francisco, very difficult to bring down here late in this first half.
Pressure coming from Sacramento, and then there's a turnover.
Excellent vision there by John Quill to come around, knowing the scrum half was playing that ball clearly onside. Now Sacramento's opportunity to alleviate pressure.
It might have been Kyle Sumption, the BYU product, who got in there and forced that turnover. As Barkwell playing out in the centres. Great stuff from him. They come down now. Here's that man Sumption. Back inside. Good bump off from Brewer. Better tackle from Blevins, though, as he drags him down. Motakana goes in, looking for the ball, pleading for a penalty, and he'll get his request, Motakana. They're coming back.
Excellent work by
saying, tackle without the ball, Lou.
Excellent decision by Sacramento. Deep in their end, they see an overlap, they work the angle, and now you get a free run down the sideline. Great work by Garrett Brewer. Takes the ball on the contact. Your job now is to put ball back. Great work also on the defense by Blevins. A little bit of a cheeky opportunity as the tackler gets up. He does not need to get back on sides. However, he does not have rights to the ball. But you get in the way, you make it harder for the offense to clear you out. It gives your team that opportunity to get back, regain defensive position in order to continue putting pressure on. But alas, penalty was called. Advantage now goes to Sacramento as they work up the field.
That kick takes them up inside San Francisco's 40. Barkwell with the throw-in. As we may get our first look at substitutions as Rakono blows the whistle.
Barkwell and Khalifi played quite a few international matches against each other. I'm sure have gone head-to-heads, now teammates. It's always nice to see that out of people you played with, Dan.
That throw not going the way Barkwell would have liked as San Francisco forced the turnover in the line-out. Reed weighing up his options. Here comes the box kick. High floating kick. Thompson underneath it. He's got time. Can't handle it, Thompson. Pressure coming. Coolican toes it through. Brewer will go back and tidy it up. No advantage coming. We're coming back from the knock-on from Thompson. And again, you talked about that on the kickoff, that ball. Yeah, you can hear the opposition coming down. Such a daunting task to get underneath that and risk it all. Take that ball.
Takes a lot of reps under that in order to gain nerves of steel. It's pretty hard knowing that you're going to get smacked, getting yourself under that ball. And really the trick is to get off the ground. Because as soon as you get off the ground, Dan, they cannot hit you in the air unless they are competing for the ball also. So that gives you a chance to protect yourself, tuck your knees in, brace yourself from impact, all while still retaining possession. Now, unfortunately, you have a knock-on, comes down to a scrum. Let's see if Sacramento can continue this pressure on. Right here in this position of the field, scrum, far side of the sideline, you're going to want to see them try and wheel it towards the sideline. So all the Khalifi side is going to be getting up, and you're going to want to put the ball at a disadvantageous position tight onto that sideline, which we also call a 16th defender.
Oh, the mad scientists of scrummaging. Lou Stanfield giving a lesson here. Just get it in and get it to the backs, I say. As Reed does just that. Shifts it across to Rouse. Little chip over the crop. Oh, you've got Harbour out of position. The chase is good. The bounce. Oh, maybe a little early there, but the knock-on coming as he goes back to recover. Good little play from Volney Rouse as he saw Rashad Harbour was up very tight in the line. Dropped it over. Unfortunately, the bounce of the ball escaped Jake Anderson. Otherwise, that could have been trouble for Sacramento.
Very much could have been trouble. Excellent vision, excellent execution, just hard luck on the bounce. As you see, puts the ball right where it needs to be. Rashad Harbour does a good job of going back after the ball, not quitting on the play. That ball went over his head, could have been easy for him to stop. He turned, he got on his horse, and ultimately he forced a turnover. Now Sacramento, scrum, ball in hand. They're going to want to clear this ball, alleviate pressure. That way they can put themselves in good position to finish this first half off right.
Great recovery there from Harbour to get back and knock, not only, like you said, knock that ball away, but also get back and win it, saving, because Blevins was right on top of it. He actually claimed a try, thought he got it down before Harbour. Back for the scrum here.
Real strong scrum there by Sacramento.
Bennett throws the dummy, lets one goes, and drops it onto the right foot. Nice drop punt, end over end, goes right up towards the halfway line. See where the touch judge marks him. Around the 40. Still good field position here for San Francisco.
From that scrum position, Dan, the kick that Harry Bennett put in is the ideal outcome. If you're able to get it around your 40, that is the bare minimum at this level that should be acceptable. Anything in front of that is a botched kick. That is excellent execution by Sacramento. And a great way to get up in the air and defend that line out.
Nice short ball. There he goes again, Talapusi. He's been breaking tackles at will today. Back to Rouse as he got the speed. Rouse steps back on the inside and dots it down. Boldly Rouse backs up his own pass. And that's got to break the hearts of the fans here as San Francisco, right on the shadows of halftime, take the lead back 15 points to 13.
Like we said, Sacramento, every opportunity to get themselves, put themselves in a good position, but missed tackles like that is what's been plaguing them all day. You have to make your front up tackles, especially off a set piece, because that right there, a little bit of break means your entire team has to get back on sides in order to play. It's very hard to defend against that, Dan. And Volney Rouse, excellent work following his pass, and he's rewarded with 5 points. If he converts this, that'll make it 7, and that'll put him off to a good start to this league.
Well, the inside center, Martini Talapusi, he is shaken and he is stirred up here today. As he breaks through again to help Volney Rouse get some points. As Rouse looks to convert his own try. And it is successful right through the post. 17 points to 13. San Francisco in the lead here about 4 minutes to go until the halftime break in what has been a very enthralling first 40 minutes for this week 1 clash between Sacramento and San Francisco.
I have to tell you, Dan, if there's anyone that had their doubts of whether the quality of rugby here for this pro league was going to be any good, their concerns are answered, and the answer is yes. This is very high quality rugby. Guys out here are playing at a high level. This is entertaining, it's fast-paced, it's hard-hitting.
Bennett, that's a better restart from him. It'll be contested. Ball comes back. Barkwell through the legs.
Excellent
the long
work.
snapper from Canada. He gets it back now. Bennett with a chance to counter. San Francisco do well to recover. Brewer offloads to nobody. Ball goes to ground. They do well to recover though. Duckett Vicada. He's tackled. Close to the sideline as Matakana goes in. Looks for runners. Hits Khalifi. That one may have drifted forward. Yes, Nick Kono, the referee agrees. And this must be at least the 5th or 6th time Sacramento have given away the ball in the red zone and not come away with some points.
This is an excellent opportunity to continue the pressure on. There's no need to do anything that is out of the ordinary. Keep winning the car crashes. You got Ali Khalifi coming on a hard line off the sideline. Feed the big man. Let him go win the collision, and then you set up for the next phase, because he's going to give you quick ball. If you try and force anything a little too fancy, just like Joppe did, it's really going to stall your attack, and now it ends up in a turnover. Now let's see if Sacramento can just keep him down here. It's likely what's going to happen is San Francisco's going to want to get out of their area.
Yeah, the number 3, Big Khalifi, feed me, he says, feed me. What a great idea that would be. He is a big unit, the human bowling ball as he crashes into the defenses more often than not, sending them scattering like 9 pins. Short arm coming. San Francisco, Finau, they go quick. Got back 10, let's see if there's an advantage coming. No, says Ricono, the enough gain.
Good hard work by John Quill to get back 10 there. Unfortunately, that was an early push by Sacramento, hence the half arm awarded to them.
Reed thrust to the ground and loses the ball. Little knock on coming, and now Sacramento with a chance to get back before halftime. Scrum coming their way, 40 out from the line.
Sionisina, product of Cal, both football and rugby, as you can see, coming off the edge just like a defensive end, just like he did in his old college days, and he forces a turnover. Excellent work to read that ball, jump the line just at the right time.
Sionisina, one of those guys, ex-football guy coming across, just such an impressive athlete. He moves so well for a man of his size.
Oh, I'm impressed. The man's 280 pounds, but yeah, he gets up in the line out like he weighs 180. He's just so athletic and so versatile in so many areas of the field that you don't notice how big he really is. Well, until I'm sure you have to hit him.
Well, I'm sure once he gets a better feel for the game, in open play, he's just going to be an absolute weapon. As Modicana comes down the blind side, Bennett. The move fell apart there. Haley, back to Rouse. Again stolen away from Modicana though.
We're having a little bit of a hard time getting a hold of this ball, and on that note, the referee blows for halftime.
That will take us through to halftime. What an exciting first 40 minutes as they head to the sheds. We see San Francisco holding on to the slender 4-point lead. 17 points to 13 over Sacramento. When we come back, all the second half coming your way. Don't go away. 17-13, San Francisco over Sacramento. Welcome back to Bonniefield in Sacramento. An exciting first 40 minutes. The scoreline 17 points to 13. As we're going to go now and give you guys a little bit of a lesson on the background of rugby union.
I think if someone just goes out and gives it a chance and takes time to learn the rules, they'll fall in love with it.
Every player on the field has an input into the game. Every player has a decision-making process.
I think the American audience will be very surprised by the amount of contact and impact plays that there are.
Canadian defense is swarming. Americans love fast-paced, hard-hitting action.
Hume takes it, watch that left foot step. Oh, wonderful stuff from Luke Hume into open space. Dancing.
The fact that it's so high-paced, high-scoring games, that also adds to the attraction of it.
Setting up that rolling ball. Touch on the top, no one there. Clever with a dive. That is absolutely brilliant. And Gwynna could be back as well. Lovely strike. And it's through.
Offloading for a try. That's my favorite thing. Like, it's like an assist, and to somebody like, well, don't you want to be the scorer? I'm like, no, I want to be the guy who's doing the pass.
Great support from Lorenzo Thomas. Excellent offload. In off on the outside. Champagne Rugby. The Eagles will score their third try.
You got to know all the rules. You got to know all the techniques. You got to learn the game.
And now Clever on the outside. Top Clever. Looking for his 15th try. Oh, trucks the opposite wing and still going strong.
American that I've met who has had a chance to actually watch rugby has gotten really excited about rugby and has fallen in love with the sport.
Welcome back to Bonniefield, joined by a very special guest now, the man behind the madness who... Welcome back to Bonnie Field, and I'm joined now by a very special guest, the man behind the madness. He developed it all, Doug Schoeninger, CEO of Pro Rugby. And Doug, the question on everyone's lips, how did you fall in love with the greatest game on earth?
How could you not? You know, I was exposed to it late, just 2 years ago, but, you know, the people are incredible. The most magical part is the players. None of them came for money or for fame, right? They came for the joy and the love of this game. You know, it's a little bit rare in American culture now, and it's just intoxicating when you meet them.
So 2 years ago, how did you get to here today where you decided to launch a professional league in the United States?
It's a long story. One that's going to be told in a couple of magazines coming out, but basically by accident, and fell in love with it, was presented with this opportunity, and how could I not do it? You know, when is an opportunity like this, where I can bring a world-known sport to a country that doesn't have it, ever going to cross my plate again? So I did it.
Well, we're off to an absolute firecracker of a start both games today. What are your short-term goals, which I think have been met today, and long-term goals for the league?
Well, short-term games is we got a game in 6 days and a game in 7 days. One in San Diego, one in San Francisco. Long-term, next year we'd like to double the number of teams. We'd like to grow this league into a powerful force in the rugby world.
Now, signed the papers 12 months ago for this to happen. You're sitting here today watching it happen. How does it feel?
It feels great. Feels great. It's another step in the journey. We got a couple more steps to go, but this is an important step for everyone to see. We've been working hard for almost 2 years, and it's great to just see it all come together.
Well, there's thousands of Americans thankful that you have done it, and hopefully they'll be tuning in over the next coming weeks. Thanks for your time. Enjoy the second half. When we come back after the break, all the second half action, Sacramento against San Francisco. Don't go away. Welcome back to Bonnie Field. An exciting first 40 minutes in the books as we get ready for the second 40. And Luke, Exactly what we expected from both these teams. A very tight contest, 17 points to 13. What are your predictions for the second half? Firstly, for Sacramento.
For Sacramento, Dan, I think that they're going to do a much better job of retaining possession. They're doing a great job on attacking on offense and creating turnovers on defense. But once they get that break and they're getting those opportunities, they're trying to force out one pass too many, and that's what's really breaking their back. As they can keep possession of the ball while deep in their opponent's end, they're going to turn those opportunities into points.
Yeah, the story of the first half was missed opportunities for Sacramento. Turning our attention now to San Francisco. They look great with ball in hand. A few little lapses on defense hurt them, though.
Yeah, their defense is really not helping them, but with Sacramento making those mistakes, it's covering them up. But San Francisco, hard charging athletes. These guys, when they get the ball in their hands, they mean business, and that is causing heaps of trouble for Sacramento. If they can continue running with that ball hard in their hands, they're going to continue putting dents in that Sacramento line, opening up those gaps, and really finding their opportunities to attack.
We are in for an absolute blockbuster of a second 40. The players are hydrated. Don't go away. When we come back, kickoff for the second half live from Bonnie Field. And welcome back to Bonnie Field. Moments away from kickoff, the second half, as San Francisco, 17 points to 13, leaders here after 40 minutes. We take a look inside the Sacramento huddle, and the little man there, the little bearded general, Ray Barkwell, hasn't he got a big role in the second 40?
Absolutely, Dan. Ray Barkwell brings a lot of experience into this rugby field. If he can continue to bring the team with him as they keep charging up this field and continue to make the right decisions, Sacramento will be on the front foot. Excellent job on defense, Sacramento, as far as putting a lot of pressure on. They have to make those one-up tackles. If they're able to make those one-up tackles, they're going to turn a lot of these defensive opportunities into counterattack opportunities, and that's only going to help their efforts pushing down this field.
Really excited to see Bergamasco get going the second half. Once known as the Italian Ferrari. The leg's a little older now. He's more of the Fiat 500, the Italian man, but he's still got some gas. And his general knowledge of the game and experience should be vital here in Sacramento, as we see San Francisco making their way back onto the field here to get things started. And I thought Volney Rouse was outstanding for them in the first 40, just moving the ball around. Also the youngster at fullback, Jake Anderson, showing the benefits from that tour earlier this year with the USA side.
Well, no doubt about it. Volney Rouse is doing an excellent job staying on his feet and moving this ball around the pitch, Dan. But I'd like to say the man on the San Francisco end that's getting a lot of work done is Martini Talapusi. He is an absolute wrecking ball in the midfield. No one wants to put their shoulder on him. And therefore, just by keeping his legs turning and keeping going hard, he's going to gain meters after contact, and he's going to break gain line. pushing San Francisco ahead, and it opens up those opportunities that you see them gain a little 5 meters here, 3 meters there off those pick and drives. His hard work is really what's gaining a lot of traction for San Francisco.
You know it's going to be a fun night when Martini gets flowing.
When Martini gets flowing, there's no stopping it.
We are underway here, 40 minutes away from crowning a victor. As San Francisco do well to recover the ball. Moving out to the left here, they're going to keep it in the forwards. Was really the story of the first half, how well their forwards moved the ball down the field to give players like Rouse, Talapusi, and Anderson opportunities. They come across. Looks like there might have been some changes at halftime. We'll get some numbers and get those two as they make an early break. O'Hara down the sideline. Cover comes across from Burgamasi, takes the player without the ball. That's Orani Aiz on the field now. As we see that man, Talapusi. He's going down the field. Sacramento finally recover back on their own 5.
A couple of odd-ended bits of play there, Dan. Ball on the deck, someone's got to dive on it. Everyone's looking at it as if it's going to grow legs and walk away. They need to dive on that thing and claim it as theirs. Excellent take by Tom Kulikin. Nerves of steel, as I said.
Tom Kulikin, the hooker, playing a little fullback there. As they move it across to the right. The big man getting rumbling. Tamalu takes that pass from Latu.
Already.
Dev Ferris, he'll move into scrum half. Blevins beats a tackle, dragged down, 5 out. Blevins gets the ball away, the offload. San Francisco strike first. Great stuff there from Sipali Sakalia. And he gets the first try, the second half for San Francisco.
You keep the pressure on, Dan. That's exactly what San Francisco did. They had the ball in hand. They made wise decisions. Blevins here takes a tackle. Instead of playing, excellent vision by him, from him in communication with number 8, Pele Sakalia, and they put one in just by the post. And I guarantee you they're going to put this into 7 points, and that's really going to help them push ahead in the second half.
A real heartbreaker out of the gates there for Sacramento, giving up a try that early. We'll talk about some changes. 22's on. He's one of the guys we talked about. Oreni Ai, the 7 superstar out of Otago in New Zealand. Found his way over here playing for Life West, the program that started up here. He had very good success in the last few years and providing a lot of players. As we look through the roster, quite a few Life West players in there as well.
A little long in the tooth, Oreni Ai, but that veteranship is going to serve him very well in this league. He has the ability to raise the level of rugby intelligence, rugby IQ of all those around him. He kind of bleeds that out. And he has been extremely involved in rugby in Northern California, helping out Granite Bay, which is a high school team and a youth club here in the Sacramento area, as well as really helping getting Life West off the ground.
Conversion goes across the face there, unsuccessful. Leaves the score 22 points to 13. San Francisco in the lead over Sacramento very early in the game. There's a change coming now for Sacramento. It looks like out on the wing as Chris Saint replaces Rashad Harbour, is it? There's Saint coming into scrum half. Here we go, restart comes down. Sacramento can't get a handle on it. Little knock-on coming first, coming from, looks like San Francisco, so it'll be a Sacramento scrum down, about 35 out. Now a chance to hit back off the scrum. There's Saint stepping in to the scrum half role. Replacing Morikana, which is a big loss for Sacramento if he's come off the field early on. Maybe picked up a little bump there, Morikana. Chris Saint from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C.
Quite a few players here, Dan, that have been involved in rugby in the United States in many facets. Let's take a look at number 3, captain for the San Francisco team, Pat Latu. Pat Latu has played all over the world, having a lot of time at San Francisco, playing with Golden Gate, but also playing for East out of Canberra in Australia. I know he played for Minneapolis, and I'm sure that's just touching the tip of the iceberg. He's been around a long time. He's got a lot of experience. A big man with a lot of experience like that can do wonders for your team. Chris Saint now on for Sacramento, a guy who's kind of touched the peripheral of the Eagles as he gets Sacramento started off with a great attacking platform.
Nice little pass from Brewer on the outside. Harbour though, he runs into the wall that is Nick Blevins. Donald Trump wants to build a wall down south. Let me tell you, they won't need one at Canada because Nick Blevins, he is the Canadian wall, and he stops Rashad Harbour right there and puts him into the sideline.
Dan, they call it the 16th defender for a reason. If you're on offense and you have the ball in your hand, stay away from the sideline. That is the worst enemy. That's what we call falling off the cliff. Work off of it and keep going in field. You go out of bounds, that's a turnover.
Ferris moves it across as they go down the middle of the field. Chance here for Brewer to counter. He's got Harbour on the outside. Notices some space in the pocket. Drives that kick nicely. And Anderson wisely lets it go as he loses his footing. They will not go quick. Nice little play there from Brewer. You talked about his intelligence in his kicking game, showing it there, picking up a good 40 metres and also picking up some territory as well as the pressure comes back on San Francisco to clear again.
Now, there's one thing to have the intelligence, Dan, and then have the ability to actually do it. Execution is what Garrett Brewer just proved that he can do. You see that, and the ability to be able to spot it and be able to do it is completely different. Marry those two, you have professional skill rugby right there.
And that's going to help San Francisco's cause as they get a penalty. They elect to go quickly to the tap. No. You have to think of your coach, Paul Keeler. You're thankful that that tap wasn't given because Sacramento were ready to go. San Francisco could have been in trouble.
A little bit of a favor there from the referee, if you don't mind me saying, Dan. I'm pretty sure Paul Keeler would have been tearing his hair out had the guy try to take that one up.
Coach Paul Keeler celebrating his birthday today, turning somewhere in the 40s, he said.
I think he said 39.
39. It's a good age to be. I plan to be it for about 10 years myself too, in a few years. Not quite there just yet. As San Francisco get this one down into Sacramento's half. Another chance to attack.
Excellent driving kick by Rennie Ayi to put them in excellent position.
Ferris moves it across now. There's Ayi. Oh, massive collision in the midfield. Crunching tackle coming in there from Sacramento.
Sione Sina coming in, bringing the thunder, ultimately driving a hit right into our man, number 6, Sam Finau. A crunching tackle right there. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what rugby's all about. You step onto this field, Dan, the rules don't say how hard you can't hit anyone. They say you can't hit them above the shoulders. They say you must wrap, and they have to have the ball. Other than that, you can go ahead and hit someone as hard as you can. That's the beauty about this game.
Well, Sione Sia, he ticked all the boxes there. He hit with his shoulder. Watch this collision from him. He's thrilled. No helmet, no pad to get in his way. He's like, thank you very much.
You're inside. Hold your set. Hold your 50.
Great collision by Sacramento. John Quill brings that one down, the Irish native. Now plying his trade in Sacramento. We've seen this before, ladies and gentlemen, the rolling ball. Back for Sacramento.
That's an excellent sell right now, Dan. You see John Quill in the mix. He's pulling, he's tearing, he's communicating with his team. They need to get going forward.
And that communication breakdown there. Again from Sacramento. They're going to iron this out as the season goes on. Just hope that it doesn't cost them an opportunity to win here today. As again, the combination between Bennett and his 12 there. And Taki Fakata comes undone.
Yeah, it's a hard line that he's running. You know, as Takavakata comes on that line, he needs a more sympathetic pass. You put something into his chest that close as he's running that hard, that's too hard to catch. In rugby, we like to say a sympathetic pass is always the best. What kind of pass would you want to receive in that situation? And that should be about what kind of tempo you should be zipping that pass to your teammate at. A little bit of a timeout as it looks like we have number 5, Cici Latu down, as well as another San Francisco player. Dan, it's hot. These guys are working, they're working hard. This is gonna be something we're gonna see more of. Guys cramping, guys going down, and really it's the team with more toughness, with more grit that's gonna be able to continue on in these conditions.
Teams maybe a 5 to 6 week preseason block to get into these first week of games. And they all work very hard. There's just nothing that can prepare you for 80 minutes of contact in rugby, is there? I mean, no matter how long your preseason is, you play professionally over in Italy, full preseason, 3-4 months sometimes, but still that first game, it's just so tiring. There's nothing that can prepare you for the combat that is rugby.
No, they can't, Dan. There's nothing in training you can do other than actually playing a full game. And once you come out here and the wins and losses are on the line, and and you're competing against someone across me that's not your teammate, that's when really everything that you've done, all the training that you put in, is truly tested. And you know, I always like to say everyone's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. Metaphorically speaking, that's what we're talking about. You have the conditions, you have what's on the line. Sometimes that type of pressure gets to people. At this level, it shouldn't. And we're seeing these teams really holding their heads above water. Now we got a substitute coming on for San Francisco as CC Latu comes off. Seems to be holding his knee or his leg. Let's hope he's okay. San Francisco waiting to hear who it is they're going to put on. And onto the field. You see, number 16.
Let's go, boys!
Jacob Finau coming on.
Well, what a drop. We go from 6'8" down to 6 foot even.
Knock on from weight.
That's going to hurt you at line-out time, isn't it?
Absolutely, that's going to help. That's not going to help out San Francisco in terms of getting some extra height in there. But, you know, set piece is only part of the game. That ball in play is the vast majority, and let's hope that San Francisco can keep it in play.
Go, Ferris with the put-in. Scrum, 15 out. Big push coming from Sacramento. Ball spills out the back. Ferris, Aye, like a pussy. Levens is met. Bergamasco, two guys that may have run into each other a few times on the world stage. Now at Bonnie Field here in Sacramento. A little bit of niggle coming in there. Consumption. Getting over the top, trying to get into Martini's head. Galapuzzi having none of it though.
That's very common to see, Dan, especially at this level. The area around the ruck is a high contention for any sort of, you know, little extra edge you can get on your competition. Now, obviously, no one's going to lose their head and do anything foolish, but as you can see there, Kyle Sumption continuing to test the opposition, making sure they're doing their job, keeps them on their toes, makes them know that Kyle Sumption's there. He's ready for an opportunity. All he needs is a crack, and he's going to take it.
Exactly right. Again, under the heat, very hard for these players to keep their focus, keep their attention. Sumption doing a good job. That little bit of niggle, getting into the heads of the San Francisco players. They need things to start turning their way here, Sacramento. Down now by 9 points. Here comes in, Saint goes back. He's got Bennett on his outside. See if the timing improves. Bennett at the back. Harbour now with the ball. Across, Anderson. Anderson. Oh, beautiful little drawing pass down the sideline. Thompson's dragged down though. They need to come back towards the middle. Pick and go from Sacramento. They're still on the attack.
Sacramento still in possession.
Comes back to the middle now. Another charging run. Sacramento into the teeth of the defense here. Saint looking for the ball. Looks like Barkwell may have had a little run himself. Bergamasco out in the right wing, pleading for the ball. He's all alone. Bennett gets up. Oh, shaped to the kick. He couldn't get it down to the boot fast enough. It was there for Bergamasco out wide. Still Sacramento with the ball.
Sacramento doing very well to stay composed in this area of the field. A great counter ruck by San Francisco, though, as play continues. Advantage of Sacramento, though. The referee's going to blow it up and take it back to the original penalty as Chris Saint takes it quick.
Barkwell couldn't get a hand on it, spins it forward. The sideline was wide open there. Now San Francisco. They'll shift it out. Looking to give themselves a little bit of space to get a clearing kick here. Great defense from Sacramento. They fly up quickly. Still within the shadows of the goalpost. Aye throws a pass. Rouse looking for runners. Spins out of a tackle. Barkwell drags him down. They're still 5 out from the line, San Francisco.
Now, although Sacramento turned this ball over, they still have San Francisco under pressure. And there we go. You turn pressure into pressure, and this is what happens.
Great turnover from Sumption, the BYU product. They're in very tight here. Not much on the right-hand side for Sacramento. Numbers committed. Penalty coming, though. 9 points down. Do you take the easy 3 here, or do you continue to mount the pressure?
I think right now, Dan, the best chance you got is to take the points. Bergamasco's got a good foot. He can put that in. All he has to do is focus. But right now, they have him against the wall. If they speed up, all right, maybe they score, maybe they turn over. As you can see, they're opting for the scrum. Sacramento backs themselves. This can be the situation that can push them into the forefront of this game. Maybe not by score, but by way of energy, by way of confidence. If they're able to capitalize here, that can be an immense momentum shift for Sacramento.
just looking at the moment we're in right now, Sacramento definitely look the fresher of the two squads. A lot of the San Francisco players down on their haunches, sucking in the big ones on these breaks of play. All the Sacramento players seem to be up. That cohesion just hasn't clicked for them yet. You're hoping through the coaching staff, through the fans, they're going to find it. They're going to find it quickly. Just scrum pushes forward.
I take a moment in the middle of that last phase of play. You saw John Quill, captain for Sacramento, down the middle of the field. Don't know what happened to him. Maybe he took a knock to the knee, maybe he took a shot, but play never stops. That's the beauty about rugby. You can get injured. You have one choice, two decisions. You can stay on the ground. Hopefully you get medical attention if you are that injured, or you get up and you keep playing. It's the ultimate plight of the warrior. You have to either do what's best or you have to do what's right, and ultimately you just have to grit up. And John Quill, like many of the guys in this field, he is not short of grit.
Just Dan, getting me fired up here in the commentary box.
Stay fired up, Dan.
Assumption off the back of scrum, charges into the defense. Hard-nosed play here for Sacramento. There's the man you talked about, Quill. He goes forward. Just meters from the line. The crowd's starting to come alive now, willing the boys on. There's value. They scoop around to the left here. Bergamasco. They pick and go one more time.
Sionisino getting the meters.
Let's see. They're going to pick and go again. Barkwell. Smart play from Barkwell there as he gets that ball back down the blind side. Drawing pass will do it. No, it's picked off. Oh, Anderson, what a play. He steals the ball like a thief in the night. And unfortunately, a little knock on coming, so Sacramento get away with one there. This down the blind side.
This is where decision making is important. Doesn't catch a clean ball, tries to force it, and that's what creates the interception. If you cannot catch that ball clean, it is always best to tuck it at the face of defense, into contact, and you can always play another phase. You try and force that ball, Dan. That's when mistakes are made, turnovers happen, and Sacramento's just lucky that Anderson didn't take that ball and run 80 meters the other way with it for a quick try.
Certainly are. Now some more concerns for Sacramento. Fullback Garrett Brewer receiving some attention. Saw a lot of the Sacramento players, they looped around to the left side. Bergamasco in particular, I've been paying close attention to him in the second 40. He wants to get more involved. He wants more ball. He's such an influential player. They need to start getting him the ball.
Absolutely. What we're also seeing is as Sacramento starts stretching that ball, that needs to be complemented by the hard work of the forwards to make sure they get out in the midfield to support that, along with a couple of other backs. The more backs you keep on your feet, the more explosive rugby and the better skills, those forwards, that needs to be coupled. They need to have that work rate complement the level of skill the backs hold. And in this back line for Sacramento, you have a high level of skill.
Certainly do, as we see Saint here. You look at the scrum bed, about 15 out from the try line. San Francisco still under pressure. Ball to Bennett. Goes midfield, short ball. Great tackle from AE. Drags him down. Ball spills out the back. Saint does well to recover. Scheming Saint looking for runners. Runs into a wall though. He's drove him into the ground.
Excellent decision making by Chris Saint to hold on to that. Valdemir Lilo getting some meters, retaining possession.
Lilo, that big mane of hair, unmistakable on the field. Bennett lets that one go behind him. Maybe knew he had the advantage coming here for offside. Now another decision. You go for the scrum, 3 points.
You know, I can hear in the peripheral, I hear 3 points. That's what they need. They need to settle it down. They need to figure out what they're going to do here. And as you can see, they're going to the sideline, and they fancy themselves. Sacramento is not short of confidence. They can get this job done. Now, like the coach said, Coach Lou Gross, settle it down in order to make sure they come away with more points.
Probably would have elected to take the 3 just with the conditions, get some points. Line has left straight, and they're going to give this right back to San Francisco. Again, just shows the onus of 3 points. You're only down by 9. You can chip away at that lead quite easily. Now San Francisco, they're elect for the scrum. They've been pretty strong in that set piece here today. Not much real estate to work with though, San Francisco. You think they're going to probably play an 8-man pick here. Take a few little sets, take a couple of settlers, give Volney Rouse or AE a chance to get a little bit of space to clear this kick.
Off for Sacramento was Alapate Takivakata, and on number 22, Namia Quoro, playing out of Life West, representative of the USA U20s team. A young man with a bright future, getting his first opportunity out here with pro rugby in Sacramento, California.
Early, far side.
A little bit of rugby for the USA under-20s. Great crowd. We had an early crowd of 2,300 come out, freezing conditions at Infinity Park in Denver. Sacramento's turned that on with nearly 3,400 people have showed up here today for week 1 of the pro rugby. Great crowd, especially considering the conditions. We're the polar opposite of Denver. Absolutely sweltering. The thermometers ticked over 90 degrees Fahrenheit here.
Sacramento, Dan, a heavily rugby-oriented city. Very popular here. A lot of youth teams, a lot of people very excited to get a pro rugby team. And as you can see, they showed up. And this is hopefully going to be the standard here in Sacramento.
Well, Sacramento produced a few good plays in their day too, Sacramento, haven't they? You know any?
Absolutely, I know of a few. A lot of Jesuit players, a lot of guys who go on to play at Cal. Even on the sevens teams, you have Falau Nua, who started here in Sacramento.
Release 7! No hands!
Ball goes out wide now. Sacramento look to go back on the attack. Nice charging on from Meeson there. Great counter-up though, disrupts the play for Sacramento. That's good stuff from San Francisco.
16, lead him,
Still, the ball remains with Sacramento. And no, penalty coming and a timeout. Could be reaching into the pocket here, Nick Ricono.
Off you go.
He seems to be.
Up.
Yeah, the color yellow, that's 10 minutes in the sin bin. For one of the San Francisco players. We'll get the number in a minute.
Yes, have a word.
Excellent work counter-rucking. San Francisco, they are making sure. Oh, a little bit of how's your father going on there, and the referee ignoring that.
Yeah, Nick Grass.
Certainly cannot be doing that in the rugby field. Not in front of the referee. As a guy who comes from a Cal background, I expect him to know better. Jack Clark would have nothing to do with that. He would make sure he'd correct that type of behavior very quickly.
Oh, they're all dirty players, those Cal players. Just kidding, Lou, just kidding. Yeah, but that's a huge mistake, though. Like I said, in these conditions, hot weather, ill discipline, costing them. Absolutely no need for that. A little bit of niggle on the ground. The last thing you want him to do, though, is throw a punch.
If you throw a punch, you put yourself at risk to compound whatever is getting into your head to come back at you tenfold by sending you off the field for 10 minutes. Now, if you saw before that, the referee had his arm open for San Francisco for a penalty. So by throwing that punch, just for whatever reason it may be, you pretty much turn the tide. Right here, Grass does a great job. For whatever reason, Kyle Sumption grabs him, doesn't even connect and throws a punch. That's just poor rugby right there. That's just losing your head in the moment of the game and really not getting the benefit.
You know, the punch missed there, Lou, but he may be in a lot more trouble for what he did after that. It looked like he stuck a thumb into the eye of Sumption, raked the fingers across the face, and that may find him in a little bit of hot water with the judiciary after this game. If you take a look at the replay, punch misses with the left hand right there. Watch this. Watch the hand come in right there. Those fingers right into the eyes of Sumption. He's in a lot of trouble, Nick Grass. He's lucky he didn't get red carded. He probably won't be playing next week.
Nick Grass has yet to realize that rugby is being filmed. Everything is looked at. Not once, not twice, more than 3 times. You have referees who watch this film to make sure anything that could have been construed as a foul play is justified with the proper punishment. Nick Grass can expect to see a fine, most likely, in the way of suspension going forward after this game.
Come on.
Yes, you're not at the local middle school playing rugby anymore, Nick. This is the big time, and he's going to be in a little bit of trouble.
On the field, we got a couple substitutions coming for San Francisco. Number 20, Junior Helu, is accompanied by a player wearing no jersey.
Guessing by the size of him, it's got to be Fancy Namalalu at 320 pounds. That guy looks like he's 320 pounds. I'm going to call that guy Fancy.
I certainly wouldn't call him anything other than that, Dan. He's a big unit. Let's see if he gets around this park, gets the ball in his hands. I'm sure he can provide problems for Sacramento.
Great take there from Sacramento.
Excellent work in the maul, Sacramento, as you would expect out of Coach Luke Gross. Played many years in England. Ray Barkrow keeping his cell alive. Advantage of Sacramento.
Here we go. Saint with the ball now. Across to his right. Bennett. Long floating pass. Here's the goose step. Getting it outside. Blevins. He's been solid all day, Blevins. Oh, the pick and go from Brewer. He needs some support. He's isolated. They come crashing in. Secure the ball nicely. Back towards the middle of the field. The big man, Sumption. Both eyeballs still intact.
There's good work to put back ball.
Borrow. Out now, Brewer, 2-on-1, drawing pass will do it. Brewer needs to back himself, try! He gets his second for the match. He's going to go RCAR. He may have hurt himself in the process. It's just a cramp by the looks of it. Yes, Harbour doing the right thing by stretching him out. If you take a look at the replay, up here it looked okay with the grounding.
Garrett Brewer
putting
a 2-on-1 situation. Fends off. Unfortunately, he loses it right on the grounding, Dan. That's why having 2 balls on the hand is of the utmost importance no matter what point in the game. Garrett Brewer backed himself. Unfortunately, that's a slick ball. You know, a lot of people would think that if it was raining, that ball would become even slicker. On the contrary, it's always slickest when it's sweatiest because all that salt in your sweat gets all over the pill and hey, you can't even get a handle on it. Garrett Brewer learned that the hard way. And unfortunately, that insult to injury, he probably has a massive cramp going up his calf right now.
Wow, the professor, Drew Stanfield, getting lessons and everything today, absolutely loving it. But that's a missed opportunity. Brewer's going to look back at that and regret that. He should have backed himself. I know it was 2-on-1, the draw and pass is the option. When he saw Thompson hanging back, trying to play the numbers, just fire from the line, he's a big man. If he just runs at Thompson's inside shoulder, he's going to score every time.
Absolutely, Dan. Thompson needs to read that, come off his line, get a short ball, gets his shoulders over the ball, and he just dives in for the try. Unfortunately, Sacramento comes back, still their ball, but, you know, 12 minutes into this end, and they have to be able to convert this into points.
They've had 2 penalties. They've turned away for points so far. 22 points to 13, 62 minutes gone. 18 minutes left in this clash. Sacramento really need to score next here if you think they're going to have a comeback. This looks good. This looks good. It's going to be a penalty try, is it? Yes, it is. Penalty try. San Francisco broke the bound early, diving on the ball. He really had no choice. Sacramento were already over the line. And the crowd, they're going absolutely bananas here.
2 things on this play, Dan. As you can see, Tom Coolican is off to the sideline. That's what brought in Fancy, and Fancy's brought in order to make up for the yellow card of Nick Grass. Now, with that, the scrums weakened Sacramento, just like before, exerting their prowess, exerting their power, and they get the penalty try. Alec Gletzer, I love the effort. Unfortunately, his decision means that Sacramento scores a try under the post, not right there, which would make for a harder kick for Bergamasco. So, right decision? I don't know. I don't think so, because now Sacramento, that puts them up to 7 points, and that puts this game a lot closer than it would have been possibly had they just scored the try where the scrum was.
And now the crowd's into it too, just what San Francisco didn't want. They were very, very quiet. Sacramento, the spirit's starting to rise here. You feel the momentum starting to swing their way as the crowd going. They're actually shaking the box here. I'm starting to get a little nervous.
As you can see from the feed, we get a whole lot of rowdiness in the Sacramento crowd. They are into this game as it is exciting.
Yeah, they love their sport up here in Sacramento. Zaire gets us restarted. Again, the restarts being an issue today. Offside there. Come back. It looked like young Robert Meeson had got in front of the player playing the ball. San Francisco, you think they're going to take the 3 points here? Only up by 2 points. Molnir Rouse has been pretty laser-like with the boot today, Lou.
He has. I think in this position in the field, though, Dan, I would opt to kick for the corner and make sure that they win this ball. San Francisco, obviously, having a little bit of a conference about it. People want to chat. People want to make sure they're making the right decision. And they're going for the points. They want to spread this lead.
I think Bolney's actually off the field as well, so come down. Looks like on the shoulders here, young Dev Ferris, in place of scrum half, will take the shot. Wholesale changes coming in.
Dev Ferris, hailing out of New Zealand, one of the many players that come over from New Zealand to play in this pro league. A young guy, playing a little bit of Life West as well as down in San Diego for the Old Aztecs.
Sean Lindersmith, the man known as Snacks. That's his club down there in San Diego. Also involved with the San Diego Pro team, who we'll get a good look at next week. One of the stalwarts for USA Rugby. Glad to see Snacks involved. What a guy he is.
I'd love to see Snacks involved. If there's a job to get done, he'll get it done all right.
Yeah. He's the first one there, pumping up the balls. He's the last one there, making sure I don't steal those balls.
He does exactly what's needed out of the manager. He fills that role excellently.
Here we go. Ferris with a big penalty to stretch it out to a 5-point lead. Strike's good. Ball does not go through the post. It goes out the back. Will come back out to the 22. It makes that decision to go for 3. A little less. Less optimal there for San Francisco. Maybe it would have been better to keep the territory and go to the corner.
It's excellent pay. It's a good payoff if you make it, but unfortunately, if you miss it, you sacrifice position. We're going to see Sacramento drive this ball down the field, make sure they gain a little of that position, and put plenty of pressure on them on defense.
Here we go. San Francisco charging back. Oh, through some flimsy defense. Another one. The offload coming. Bledsoe with the ball. He scored one already. Dragged down inside the 22. Out to the left now. Aye with the no look into the inside. Now rumbled forward again. Sakalia, he scored the first try in the second half. Ferris goes for a little run. Control coming back to the play here after that helter-skelter break from San Francisco.
Let's see if Sacramento defense can force a turnover here.
There goes Fancy. Iggy Azalea clapping at home. She named the song after that big unit. And now
Sacramento not smart with their defensive rucking. That counter ruck, Dan, is very important, but you have to make sure you come through the gate, and you have to make sure that your ruck is used properly. Right there, all right, who do you see getting penalized? I didn't quite see it. We're showing number 19, Rich Knight, hailing out of Sacramento, but I think it might have been somewhere else. But now you had the opportunity to continue playing defense and hopefully create a turnover, but you give that up when you give the penalty. And now San Francisco, they missed the 3 points earlier, but they have a second chance to hit the penalty here if they choose to, or go for the corner and really widen this lead.
13 minutes to go. I would probably take the kick to the corner here. 3 points takes you to a 5-point game. Converted try and still lose. I know it's a lot to ask because Sacramento haven't really looked that great ball in hand here today. But you just don't get a chance. There's too many attacking weapons for Sacramento's team. I play the territory, I kick to the corner, Lou. Do what you say. I finally listen to my captain, Lou, and I'll kick to the corner here as well. Take the line out, try to drive it over for the 5 points.
Yeah, drive it over the 5 points, Dan, you widen that lead, and then if you kick the conversion, you really break their backs. But if they decide to go for points, you keep it ticking, you keep playing. I don't think that's what San Francisco needs right now, but you don't know because, well, we're not down there making decisions, Dan. I think they're backing Dev Ferris as you see San Francisco walking back. But now they're passing off the kicking duties to number 12. Martini Talapusi, as he's going to put his foot to it and try and widen this lead to 5 for San Francisco.
Talapusi's done everything else today. He's been absolutely electric in attack. He's had a few big hits in defense as well. Been super impressed with him.
I believe he was the one that made this break in order to get San Francisco down to this end of the field.
The young man from Samoa found his way over to the US with Life West, another one of those Life West programs.
An absolute wrecking ball in today's match, Dan.
Well, we've already had Iggy Azalea, now Miley Cyrus making an appearance here. It's all happening in pro rugby. There's Talapusi. That's a better strike off the foot. Flags go up, 3 points out of 25 points to 20. 12 minutes to go. We have a 5-point ball game. Strap yourselves in. Sacramento, everything to play for. Definitely got the crowd behind them here, trying to will them home. Won't they go absolutely bonkers if they can get a try here?
The stands will surely light up, Dan. Now Sacramento, right now, the most important priority is to regain possession. They need to put a lot of pressure on this kick, regain possession, keep the ball in hand in order to work the score. Excellent work to regain possession. Someone's got to jump on it. Well done, Chris Saint.
Saint goes for a little run. He's up to the 40 now, inside San Francisco's half. Pick and go. That's Meeson. Barkwell brings Saint in. Out to the pod. There's Khalifi. He's met by Fancy though, right on the 40. Bennett picks up a bouncing ball. At the back, Bergamasco breaks a tackle. Can he get free? No. Yes, shakes another one, Bergamasco.
Release, Red! No hands, Red!
Back to the middle here. Saint floating past Barkwell. One-on-one. Oh, beautiful footwork from the Canadian. Please from the crowd for a high tackle, not coming. Now it is. Saint. Bennett looks for the corner. Probably don't want to kick away possession this late in the game, but he finds touch inside the 22. No advantage coming for a penalty, and looks like he's got him for offside, not a high shot.
You know, I think that was again one of those tackles where the referees, they are instructed in order to be sticklers on this. If you tackle in and around the head, doesn't matter how hard, doesn't matter how malicious, they're going to call it. That, in that scenario, Barkwell, a little shorter than most guys on the field, puts him at a little bit of that risk. But defensively, you need to be privy to that. You need to make sure that you're making the right tackles and not hitting anyone around their head.
You promised Ray you wouldn't mention anything before the game.
Well, I also told him I'd compliment him on the length of his beard. That's what's weighing him down.
Well, it's a good trade-off. You've got 70 minutes without mentioning his height. Bad effort there from Lou Stanfield. All the Barkwells watching up in Canada. What a great game Ray has had here today in his debut for pro rugby.
Spent many a day battling along with Ray. He said himself a few things to me that hurt my feelings. I think I can get a shot in on him for this.
Fair play. We'll play on after. Hey. He has this throw in now. A huge throw in here for Sacramento. Down by 5. We're moving to the final 10 minutes. Well taken by Quill. Great performance from John Quill here today. Barkwell. Nice little rugby league pass off the back. Thompson dragged down. Anderson in the middle of the field. Both him and Thompson, big, tall, rangy lads.
John Quill gaining meters.
Another strong run from Quill. Saint looking for the ball. Good defense from San Francisco, playing them very tough here. Sacramento, though, knocking on the door. Can they break through? Big numbers to the right. Saint looking for his options. He's got Bennett out the back door. Another pick and go from Meeson.
Chris Saint doing an excellent job ordering his troops around, getting them to do what he needs them to do. Sacramento keeping the ball in tight, retaining possession.
Could be trouble here. He's into the post. It's try time. It looks like Big Khalifi has got over. He's almost taken the goalpost with him. If he doesn't, the Sacramento crowd will. We are all tied up with a kick to come from right under the post. Sacramento surging home here at Bonnie Field.
Excellent quality of play through the floors of Sacramento. Ali Khalifi, as they get that go-forward ball, as they get momentum, he capitalizes on that by getting his shoulders low and really taking that ball through the tackler and over the game line into the try zone. Excellent work by Sacramento there, Dan. Excellent poise. Great work by Chris Saint in order to marshal his troops around, get them to do what they needed to do, and get them in the right position in order to get the outcome.
Yeah, Khalifi's eyes stood up when he looked up and all he saw was Arini A'i in front of him. A'i played a lot of sevens for New Zealand. Probably didn't run into too many guys the size of Khalifi on the 7th circuit back then.
I would imagine Khalifi seeing that was licking his chops, but he knew it was feeding time.
Conversion is successful, as was expected, and now Sacramento regain the lead, 27 points to 25. That's a great angle here. You'll see the encounter. 22 IE, Khalifi picks it up. He just burrows straight at him. So tough to stop a man that's built like Khalifi that close to the line.
2 hands on the ball, getting over the line, dotting it down for a quick 5. Love seeing that out of the forward, Dan.
Kickoffs. The Achilles heel thus far today for both teams.
With the sun in their eyes, this is proving to be the most difficult area. If they can consolidate possession here and then put the ball back into the other team's half, that will prove to be an excellent road for Sacramento.
Harry Bennett does just that. As he tries that ball, beautiful kick. Now they're saying it went out in the full, it's coming all the way back. Ball was passed back in. This is that rule we talked about in the first half, Lou. Ball was passed back into the 22. Bennett doesn't have the luxury to kick that out in the full. And that hurts Sacramento. They go from a big pickup of 60 meters right back to being under pressure again.
As you can see right now, San Francisco pushing the tempo of this game. That ball is kicked out of bounds. They can take their time in trying to figure out what they want to do, but they know already. They're pushing the tempo. They want to go win this ball. They want to get it to the backs, and they want to go play. Sacramento is going to need some excellent effort on defense in order to keep them out of the try zone right here.
Line out taken as Ferris moves it across. Oh, he took on the cup. Puts that one down. Big mistake there from the veteran campaigner. And now Sacramento, you can almost feel a sigh of relief come across the crowd here as they'll get a chance to scrum this ball and then drive that ball down and pick up some yards here off the boot of Bennett.
Yeah, San Francisco player getting pried off the ground. Number 8, Pele Sakalia. You see Mosey's back over to the scrum late in this game. 5 minutes to play. Sacramento up by 2 points with the ball in hand in their end of the field. And we'll expect Sacramento to drive this ball out, but this time landing the ball in first before it goes out.
Yeah, a lot falling on the shoulders here of Bennett, the young Australian. Saint finds him. Yeah, puts this one down the corridor, straight into the waiting arms. Jake Anderson. Now Anderson weighing up his options as he comes back on the attack. Looks out to the right. Sacramento's done well to recover here. Gets through the first tackle assumption though. Before being met and held up nicely on his own 40. Sacramento, everything to play for. Down to the last 5. Down the blind side. O'Hara, ball back inside. Beautiful little offload.
Sacramento will need a scramble here to regain possession, and they do with an excellent counter ruck. Excellent counter ruck by Sacramento in order to regain that possession. San Francisco using that advantage up the sideline. An excellent snazzy offload right here. Gletzer not able to hold on to that ball. Ray Barkwell on it like white on rice.
Great stuff from Barkwell.
An absolute workhorse on this field. You see a man of his stature, you wouldn't think he'd be able to get around the pitch. But Dan, there's nothing that stops him. He chugs, and he goes, and there's no stopping Ray Barkwell. There's work to be done. He puts his hard hat on, and he goes and finds it.
He's a coach's player, Ray Barkwell, that's for sure. And that comes off a long break too. A good broken play from San Francisco. Barkwell, the first one back there. You don't expect to see your hooker get back there and do that. You want your outside backs, maybe your loose forwards to go and tie that up. Not your hooker, but Barkwell, like you said, always worked.
All skills, all players, Dan.
Saint puts that ball in. Nice, solid scrum. Bennett will kick again, looking for a corner this time. Can he find some green? Yes, he does. Great kick from Bennett. Here comes the chase. A little disjointed from Sacramento. They need to find each other and link up. They do so now. Big collision, still on the encounter. Here goes San Francisco through O'Hara. Oh, great one-on-one tackle by his opposite number in Harbour.
An excellent counter-ruck opportunity right here as San Francisco is low on resources. That ball's in the bottom of the pile.
And a huge penalty coming the way of Sacramento. 3 minutes left on the clock, and they will pick up some territory off the boot of Bennett here, driving this ball deep into the San Francisco half.
A disjointed chase by Sacramento leads to an equally matched, unresourced ball in the corner off the counterattack. Sacramento there on their feet. Only recourse for San Francisco. Tired, low on resources. They lose their feet under pressure. Turnover penalty to Sacramento. 2 minutes left to play, Dan.
Nice little banana kick there coming in from Bennett. Takes him right onto the 22. Big line out coming here. You can see Barkwell marshalling his troops, making sure the call is very clear here. No mistakes.
Excellent opportunity for Sacramento to regain possession. If I was a betting man, Dan, and I'm not, but if I was, I would say they're going to try and maul this. They're going to maul for as long as they can. Now, the last line out, we saw San Francisco not want to compete in the maul.
There's some niggle on the side here as well.
They are. A little bit how's your father. Getting up and playing.
Goal from Bennett from long range. He struck it. It's good. Oh, Harry Bennett, you little ripper! 3 points from out the sideline. And that will take them out to a nice little lead here. 30 points to 25. San Francisco need a try.
Excellent decision-making execution by Harry Bennett. That top knot on his head must be storing a little extra brains because that was an excellent decision, and he backed himself. That was not an easy drop goal. Nails it, puts Sacramento up, widening that lead.
Beautiful strike from Bennett. 5 points, leading here San Francisco. Sacramento may have turned this over, they have. San Francisco, here it is, last roll of the dice. Aye moves it across. Calapuzzi, Blevins.
Calapuzzi trying to find someone to give to.
Big hole up the middle. Oh, and then a mistake. Great defense from Harbour. He gets the ball. Can he get away from the attention? He needs some support.
Shot Harbour doing an excellent job evading defenders.
Bergamasco. There's numbers. There's numbers if he wants to use them out wide. He goes into the defense. Playing it safe there, Bergamasco, holding into a 5-point lead. Bennett, huge numbers in front of him. He likes to kick it away. Ball goes down. Anderson now, a chance to counter. I'm not sure if that was the right option, Lou. He had a lot of space in front of him.
He did, but he found a little bit more. Unfortunately, he goes right into the teeth of defense, and the ball is turned over by number 22, Namia Quaro. And Sacramento is off again, Dan.
And they're going to go all the way. They're going to put the exclamation mark on this game as they streak away for a try at the death. That will seal things up. What a great first half victory, Sacramento.
Sacramento turning pressure into pressure here late in the game. Excellent to see. Great rugby. Chris Saint hitting the stride, finding the space, and then ultimately number 23, Ryan Kohler, putting the ball away. Putting the dagger in the heart here late in the game in San Francisco.
Well, how appropriate, the young man Kohler, a Sacramento native, he puts the exclamation mark on this game. That wraps things up for Sacramento. What a day. You're restraining yourself well, big man, Lou Stanfield. He's born and raised in Sacramento, chomping at the bit up here. Give us a little fist pump, give us something. There he goes, Kohler.
Love seeing that.
And look who's in support too.
Love seeing Ray Barkroll right up Kohler's 6, ready for support. If anything had happened, Barkroll would have been on it, much like everything else in this match.
They are pumped up, the boys from Sacramento. Weeks and weeks of doing 2-a-days, 5 days a week. And the Sacramento Heat getting absolutely battle-tested by Luke Gross and his staff up here has paid off. As they will get the points here. Round 1. San Francisco will go away licking their wounds, thinking, what if?
Bergamasco, good strike. And he finds the post.
Conversion is successful, and that will see us through to full time here at Bonnie Field. Celebration erupts as Sacramento has won this game 37 points to 25. What a victory, Lou Stanfield.
What a victory indeed, Dan. A sloppy beginning of the game, turned around at halftime. Excellent second half. What an exciting start for pro rugby here in America. Very much what we want to see at the start of a very, very professional outfit. San Francisco coming in, showing a lot of good skills, counter-rucking. Great ball running with the ball in hand, and ultimately the stick-to-itiveness and the grit of Sacramento pulls them through the victory at the end. Dan, these guys have to be absolutely white playing in the sun this long on this time of day. And, the guys are showing that they're ready to keep playing.
And thanks for joining us in Sacramento, where Sacramento has defeated San Francisco by 37 points to 24. For Lou Stanfield, our entire crew at AOL and One World Sports, I'm Dan Power saying thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.